All right, welcome. Okay, let's get started on class today. So a reminder, we start with workshopping through some things, breaking some stuff down, and then we'll do a flow after that, which will include the stuff that we've broken down, as well as some other things. So let's start with heel rocks, okay? If you've been in class with me, you have done these. We're going to do a bunch of these today. It's going to be thrown in throughout. So let's talk about them. There's two ways to do heel rocks. You will be coming down onto, let's see, there we go. Okay, so you're going to come down onto the ground, and we'll start with practicing with your feet planted. You'll have your knees bent, feet planted, and you'll want to check to make sure that your spine is in alignment. So that means we're watching out for, can you guys see that? Like this hardening of the ribs and lifting them up. Soften them down. Let them be soft. So they're just in line with the body. Okay. We're also checking for under the lower back, the lumbar spine. There should be some space. Yeah. At least under the vertebra. Our bodies are all shaped differently, so maybe it's just like a paper thin space, but you should be able to slide your hand under, even though like I'm having to like kind of wiggle mine in, my spine isn't pressing down into my hand. If that makes sense. Then we want space on around all sides of the neck. So I've got my cervical spine, my neck, yeah, there's a space under there. I want to also have space on the front of my neck and the sides of my neck. Yeah. So there I am. And here we are. We're going to rock. So we rock by, I'm going to look at you, but you're going to have your gaze straight up. We rock by pushing into the feet, and you'll notice that just push it. I push in and I let go over and over. And there's a rocking motion that happens. Now there's like, we don't want to have our arms down because that can mess it up. Today, this is what we're going to do with our arms. So if this is new, we're going to be taking, I take the backs of my hands together and we're going to rest them right on the sternum. Okay, so we're going to rest them here, and we're going to really remind ourselves to drop down. So what I'm imagining here is that this motion is coming from my feet along the back of the body, all the way behind, yeah, and coming out my head. So I'm not like, it's like a container of water sloshing back and forth. And I've got my hands here to remind me to soften my heart and to feel that motion to drop way, 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 way back behind the heart. So really be aware of this space behind your heart. Drop down more, soften more. Yeah, so try that out. You want to relax your jaw. Yeah, and it's not a lot of work, okay? It shouldn't feel like a lot of work or you're making the motion go. It should be more like a softening to allow it to happen. Okay, so there's that way with the legs up. You can also, I'm gonna move so you can see me. You can also straighten the legs, and I apologize for poor lighting. It's just what we got. So here, to do it with the heel rock with the legs straight, I push my toes away from me and then I relax, and that also, you'll notice, rocks the body. I'm going to do the same thing with my hands. Yeah. So you can make the like sloshy sound, like or like anything that will help you feel this relaxing, sloshy motion that's going on in the body. Yes. Okay, are there any questions on these heel rocks? We're just gonna sprinkle those throughout our practice today. If you're not comfortable being recorded, you can also use the chat if you have a question. So these heel rocks, the purpose of them is we use it, like I use it in my client work with, it's kind of a diagnostic tool to notice like where is their tension happening in the body, where are they, we call it binding. Yeah, any of the holding patterns. and we help to ease that. So places that I often see it is like your thighs, gripping. We talked about already this area, yeah, this hardening in the ribs. That's why we're doing this. We're just gonna help soften it down. I also see a lot of gripping in the jaw. So when you do that, you want to check yourself. You might want to just do it one more time. Just notice like, am I gripping anywhere? Am I able to let this motion go through my body? Yeah, and this isn't supposed to be, this is a hand thing of my own creation. It's not supposed to be hard. Yeah, you're not like pressing in. It's more just like, as much as my body will allow, I just take my backs of my hands together and like slosh right there. Okay. All right, let's workshop something else. So that will be, like I said, sprinkled in throughout, because we're going to just be releasing, grounding, and paying attention to what's going on inside the body. Okay, let's do a big X with a variation. So if you've been in class before, you know we do lots of these with different variations. So this is what we're going to do today. Making a big X on the ground. You want to be reminded that as I do my big X, I don't take my legs and splay them way out. I am bringing them in. I'm trying to get like the best angle for the lighting and keeping me out of the sunshine so I can see you guys. Okay, so there it goes dark again. So I'm not splaying my legs out way wide, even though I said a big X. My legs are pretty close together. It's more like they're hip bone distance apart from each other. Okay, and my arms are up here in an X. If my ribs are lifting and splaying and hardening again, that's just meaning that my arm motion is, I'm so stiff in my shoulders that my arms move my ribs. So I just want to widen the arms if the ribs are coming up. Yes. So here we are, we're in big X. We go here a lot. I'm going to notice my breath very first thing. I'm going to look at you while I talk. So in big X, we notice our breath. We feel the ground below us. And we notice when we're about 2/3 of the way empty, just focusing on, I'm just breathing. I am exhaling. As I exhale, my muscles go to help press the air out. When I'm about 2/3 of the way empty, I will curl in towards you. I feel that like suctioning, pulling feeling, and I use it. Everything starts there. I curl into a ball. Yes, okay, so once I'm here in this ball, usually we will do this later, but we're not gonna workshop it because we don't have time. We pull in and we open back out. Notice I don't clunk at all. I'm using the ground to pull in. There I am, closed in. So usually we do that, just open onto the ground. Today, we'll do open onto the ground, and we're gonna also workshop this one. So I'm gonna see this leg that's on top. I'm gonna take that leg, I'm gonna send it out. Now I'm really thinking of leading with my toes. So I'm pulling my toes out that way, and I'm also gonna start rotating them. It's gonna move my body because I'm connected. I'm gonna sit myself up that way. So I send my toe out, I pull, and I rotate. Yeah, I rotated to bring myself up to a seated place, and then I'm going to straighten my legs, and I'm going to fold over in a little forward fold. So try that out. Yeah. So you're gonna come into your big X. You're gonna notice your breath. And we're gonna breathe out. We're gonna notice these muscles in our core change. Help press the air out. And we're gonna use that. It's going to initiate or start the motion of curling in. And everything goes at the same time. When your legs wanna go, your arms go, your head goes, your tail goes, everything goes. Okay, then I'm curled into a ball. Take my top leg, I send my toes out away from me. I pull them and I rotate that leg and I come up into a seated place. Oh, surprise, it's fun. And then we just straighten the leg alongside that first one and fold over. That's where we'll be going. Go ahead and try it the other direction. Okay, so you're gonna close the other way. And make sure that we get this one so we don't have to break it down later. Good. We're taking that top leg, sending it out and up. Really nice. So we rotate, and that helps to pull us up. Good. Hey, those of you who are live in class, I remembered I did not share a playlist link with you. So I'm just going to grab that really quick and put it in the chat. Okay. So are there any questions? There's your playlist list in the chat. Link in the chat. Any questions about this one with the rotating that leg? So we focus on this a lot in here, is this idea of like sending ourselves somewhere out away from us and really being clear in that intent so much that it sends our whole body along the ride. Yes. Okay, so we can do that with any part of our body. We're doing it right now, that with that toe. Show one more time. Yeah, so curled in, I'm gonna send that out. I'm just pulling it up, and then you can't see, but I'm going, and I'm rotating, and it pulls me up. Yeah? Okay. Questions? No questions. Okay. Let's keep going. So we're gonna do another variation of this big X, except it'll be standing up. Most of you have done this, who are in class live. Yeah, you guys have done this. But we'll review. Such interesting lighting. Okay, so you're gonna come into a standing place. You're not gonna be able to see my feet, that's fine. Standing place, my legs are in that line, yeah, from my hip bones down, and they're parallel to each other. Check your feet, make sure you're parallel. So what's gonna happen here, I'm gonna turn sideways, is I'm gonna be doing like a big X, standing up. So, same idea. I'm gonna feel my exhale, and everything's gonna go down in here. So some people it feels like a suctioning, some people it feels like a tug, some people it just feels like a restriction, like a constricting into the center of the body. Okay, you're gonna feel something, yeah. And I'm going to curl in here. Notice how I'm curling in. I look like I'm on the floor, just so I'm on my side. Yes, that looks familiar. Okay, here. And this time I'm going to use my breath. I'm going to inhale, and I'm going to come out, yeah, from there. It's like I'm flying. My arms are not to the side. They're reaching like I'm in an X. It's like bent right in half at a 90-degree angle. So I go up, and then I feel that here, that change as I breathe in, out. And I curl back in. And then I inhale out. Yeah, go ahead and try that. So when we do any of this motion, that stuff starts in the middle and we're treating all the limbs as the same. It's called core distal patterning. And we are initiating the movement from the center, and we're treating all of the limbs equally. They get equal energy from the center of the body. And all these limbs move at the same time. That can be the tricky part, yeah? Most people want to lead with the legs. You might be different. Some people lead with the head or the arms, but just notice like what you tend to do and remind yourself, like whenever that dominant part wants to move, just everything moves, yeah? Any questions on this standing big X at like a 90-degree angle? We good? Okay. All right. Let's see. So we've done those. Okay. Let's do this little thing. It's like a froggy. New stuff today. Nobody's done this in my classes yet. So we're gonna come onto the back, coming down. And this is an upper-lower pattern, so it's like my lower body doing something, my upper body doing something, but we're still supporting with this core. So I'm here. I'm going to be pulling my knees up. It kind of is also like a core distal thing. I think it's more core distal. Yeah, it's core distal. So initiation happens here, and then my elbows and my knees are gonna come towards each other. Yeah, I'm kind of like a little frog. Then I'm gonna flip everything. Oh my gosh, look at that lighting change. Okay. I'm flipping everything so that I'm inwardly rotating, and I'm gonna send it back out. Yeah, so you're gonna keep your head on the ground. So again, pulling the elbows and knees towards each other. When they get as far as they can, where I'm still supporting everything, I'm gonna flip it and send it back out. So try that out. There's this rotation happening. Yeah, kind of a very weird snow angel. Yeah, try it out. Yeah, so we go. We're keeping that support in the core. You can feel that initiation happening from the action of the core, but we're not moving the spine. It's staying very stationary. This one's a little like, oh, what? Yeah, that's okay. So slow down, slow down, slow down. Let me show you again. Okay, we're gonna go slower. Here we go. Okay, so I'm pulling. I'm in outward rotation right now. My palms are up. My legs are open. Yeah. I pull them towards each other. When they get as far as they can, you don't even have to take your toes off the ground. You can if you want. Yeah, I don't. I inwardly rotate. So now my knees are together and I'm flipping my hands so that they're going the other way. And then I just press everything back out. They're all moving at the same time. Yeah, try that out. One more time, slow down. So we never want to go farther than we can support. And it's okay to go slow, 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 slow. That way we're not using momentum. We're actually understanding the entire pathway. Yeah. Good, keep going. Yes, yes, good. Okay. Questions on this little froggy? Okay. One last thing to workshop. So we're going to think about this midline of the body again. Yeah, midline of the body. We have a right side, we have a left side. This is another thing we're doing on our backs. We're going to be there a lot today. And you're going to come into your back. Let me see. I need to probably scooch farther away from you. Here I am. On my back. I will trace the midline of the body. Yeah, so, and I go along the back. Yeah, you can't see I'm going along my spine. I'm just reminding myself, like, hey, this is where one half is. This is the other half. This is where we meet. Okay. And then I'm going to decide which side is going to be my stable side. Yeah, I can kind of, okay, you'll be grounded. And I'm going to be, now this is different. You can't see my feet, but I am flexing my foot on that one side. And then I'm going to be sending my arm up. And I'm sending energy at my fingertips. So I'm really imagining that this side that's going to be my stable side is going away from each other. And I'm really, really, really thinking about my midline. So that's all stable, and then I'm going to pick up this mobile side. Now there's no set thing you do with this mobile side, but I'm gonna think about this midline. I'm sending energy out. You could also flex your hand and send energy out the heel of your hand if that helps you. That might be easier for you. It might be easier with your fingers extended, you decide. And then this side is just, you're just gonna move it around like it's a piece of seaweed in the water. So I've got one side that's very, very strong. The other side is very, very fluid. And I'm really thinking about that midline of my body. Yes, okay, try it out. So we're really focusing on like the more stable that stable side is, the more mobile the fluid side can be, the more it can move around with ease. So you really, really strengthen that stable side, so much stability. Really investing in that pull in space, like I'm sending the energy out my heel, I'm sending energy out the heel of my hand or my fingertips, whichever feels better for you. Really think of that pull both ways and the midline, and then this other side is so free to be fluid, to play around. Try it on the other side. Other side. So you trace that midline, reminder again, like this is my stable side. I'm gonna kind of remind it like, hey, you're more connected to the ground. And then you switch, and then you just let that other side that's fluid just move around, be free, explore, feel your midline, feel your midline. Keep sending that pulling energy. Nice. And we will be coming back to this in our flow. So you'll have time to play around more, but we're understanding what we're going for, what we're looking for there. Any questions? Okay. Okay. Right. We will actually start standing up today. So go ahead and stand up. If you haven't turned on music and you like music, this would be a good chance right now to turn that music on. Or you might have already had it on, and that's okay too. Yeah, so you're gonna find yourself in a standing place. And in your standing place, you will be having your feet parallel to one another, right under the legs, right? The legs right under the hips, so that they're running parallel like railroad tracks all the way down to the ground. Okay. As you stand here, you are welcome to either close your eyes, whatever feels best for you, or you can just have a soft gaze just into your space so that we're paying more attention to our internal experience. Our outer senses can be so useful for us to help us ground in reality and be present. But we want to kind of tune that out a little and more notice, like, what are you sensing within your body? What are you sensing there? Okay, you might notice as you stand that you need to kind of adjust your feet a little, or maybe you're swaying a little. That's fine. Let that happen. And I want to talk about what we're going to focus on today. So today, again, we're going to focus on creating a feeling inside of our bodies. And I want to read something to you. This is from Thich Nhat Hanh's little cute book. It's called How to Love. Okay. He says, If you pour a handful of salt into a cup of water, the water becomes undrinkable. So as you're standing here, just listen. Notice how this is resonating or hitting you in your body. How does it feel? And pay attention to your breath, okay? So the water becomes undrinkable. But if you pour the salt into a river, people can continue to draw the water to cook, wash, and drink. The river is immense, and it has the capacity to receive, embrace, and transform. When our hearts are small, our understanding and compassion are limited, and we suffer. We can't accept or tolerate others and their shortcomings. And I would add to here, we can't accept like any uncomfortable feeling, right? And we demand that they change. So any kind of thing in your life that's hard, yeah, it can be a relationship, other people, it can be yourself and your own shortcomings. It can just be other hard things like a pandemic, okay? But when our hearts expand, these same things don't make us suffer anymore. We have a lot of understanding and compassion and can embrace others, or we can embrace like whatever it is in our life. Okay, so the big question is, how do we help our hearts to grow? So I love this image of the heart as a wide, wide, wide river. You might have done this in class with me before. It's one of my favorite things to revisit. This idea of heart wide like a river. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are hard in our world right now that can be causing you suffering. We also just have our own individual paths that we're on, and maybe there's going to be uncomfortable stuff there, right? So how do we allow ourselves to open up more rather than close up more so that we do not suffer as much, okay? So here we are, and we are breathing. I come in and out of demonstrating depending on what I need to be able to do to talk and if you've seen this thing before. So you're going to be coming into your standing place. If you have your eyes closed, go ahead and open them. You will be taking your fingers together and interlocking them. You're going to take your knuckles right under your chin. You could feel your feet on the ground. You can move your legs a little bit if they've gotten stiff, kind of tread through them a couple times. Yes. Bend the knees, whatever you need to do. Come back into stillness. Check your alignment. Standing evenly on the feet. Your knees are over your ankles. Your hips are over your knees, over your ankles. Your shoulders are over your hips, over your knees, over your ankles. Right now, your head might be a little farther forward to come to your chin, over your knuckles, and that's okay. Good. As you inhale, you are going to open the arms up, keeping these knuckles under the chin and your fingers interlocked. You will be opening the palm up, the elbows are lifting. Inhale, and you're going to be looking up. No, you're going to be looking forward, so sorry. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to bring them back down, look up, breathe out the mouth. Elbows together. Inhale, look forward, raise the elbows. Exhale, bring the elbows together, look up. Good, keep breathing this way. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Come back to a neutral place and let the arms come down. And here, you just allow yourself to bounce your knees. You can tread through your feet and swing your arms. Whatever feels best, we're just swinging the arms. Good. Feel the weight of your body. Just feel what it's like to pick it up and let it go as you swing your arms. Good. As you bounce your knees. Good. Coming into a still place. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, you're going to curl in into that like standing big ups that we did. Yeah, curl in. Inhale, straighten into that 90-degree big X. Good. Exhale, you're going to curl back in. Good. Keep going with your own breath. You need to support your back with your core. So we start the movement in the core. Good. One more. Curling everything in. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, curl. And then take 3 rounds of breath to roll up. Nice and slow. Coming back to that standing place. Good. In your standing place, you're just going to take your hands to your body and rub. Wake everything up. Yeah. So we do this a lot. Hands on is so important. Yeah, you're just going to take your hands, your whole head, your neck, as much as your torso as you can reach. You're going to take your hands down your legs, all the way to your feet. Yeah, just wake everything up. Rub, 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 rub. Good. When you come back up, you're going to take one hand to the front of your belly, one hand to your back, and just rub and bounce the knees. Good. And then you come into a still place. Slow your breath down. From here, we're just going to take a squat. Okay. You're going to widen the legs a little bit and come down into a yoga squat. So we want to try to keep the heels on the ground as much as possible. And it might not be happening for you. That's fine. You're going to make your way into a seated place. Use your hands if you need to support you down to the ground. Down to the ground. Good. And then you're going to go ahead and lay down on your back. Okay. You can bend the knees and plant the feet once you're on your back, or you can have your legs extended. If breathing here on your back isn't where you want to be and prefer to be on your side or your front, you are welcome to go ahead and go there. And we're just going to slow down for a moment and come back to this idea of your heart like a wide, wide river. As you lay here and breathe, I invite you to notice your body. Notice any places within you that are pulling in, that are making you feel more restricted, restrained, contained, small. Notice how you carry your body, how you are carrying it in this moment, and invite your body to open up more. You are in charge of how much openness you would like to feel. I know this can bring an emotional response. You decide how much of that you can handle today, but I invite you to consider to open up more, to be in this safe place, to allow yourself to feel. Scan your body. Imagine your heart, your body, your whole self expanding. Expanding. Filling the space all around you. Maybe expanding to the farthest corners of the room you're in, maybe going farther out. How wide open can you allow yourself to be? Imagine your heart opening up. An expansive heart. If you have moved onto your side or your front, I invite you to come back to your back and prepare for a heel rock. So again, your feet can be planted or your legs can be straight. Remember to bring your hands to the sternum, backs of the hands meeting, and rocking back and forth. Drop down farther behind your heart. Soften more into that space behind your heart. Allow the motion to go through the entire body. Here in this safe place, how wide open can you be? How open can you be just to allowing this experience into your heart, into your life, into your body, into your being, without trying to control or contain. Sloshing back and forth, back and forth. Soften more, drop more behind the heart. The heart like a river. Free motion. If you find yourself gripping anywhere in the body, I invite you to invite the body to let go. You have the ground below you. You are in a safe place. You can let go in this moment. The ground is holding you. At any time in the rocking, you need to stop and just be still for a moment and soften. Do that. And then you come back to the motion. Good. Feel that breath. Feel that softening. And from here, go ahead and take your arms down to your side. And we're just going to be tracking with the eyes. So eye tracking is very simple. You look around in the space around you and you allow your head to move where your eyes are looking. But the eyes are leading your motion. You're on your back still. You're looking around the space around you. And you'll notice that you're moving your head from way up high. The neck might feel a release of tension as you move from higher up. Feel that motion. Good. Looking around. Coming more still. More still. Slow down. Feel yourself here on the ground. Go ahead and rock your heels once again. Hands on the sternum. Drop down behind the heart. Open up. Heart like a river. So what causes our suffering is this closing up, this closing in. Well, it can be quite shocking to open up to. I understand that. That's okay. You decide how much you want. But know that it is a choice. It is a choice you make every single time. Good. And then you become still once again. And then we're coming into that froggy. Yeah, so we're pulling elbows and knees toward each other. It starts in the core. And then you're flipping into inward rotation to come back into your X shape. Yes, over and over again. Your own timing. Pay attention to yourself along the way. What is your experience of this? What does it feel like when you rotate from outward rotation to inward rotation and extend back out? What does it feel like as you come back into that outward rotation and pull in? Just notice, what is this like? What is this like? About 2 more. Feel your core supporting you, your breath supporting you. becoming more still. And then you'll be coming into a big X. Reminder in your big X to not have the legs be too wide. They run parallel to each other like railroad tracks down. Good. Before we move, find your breath. Find your breath here. Really nice. Finding that breath. And you'll notice as you breathe out that the muscles change in your core. There might be a tug, a suctioning feeling, a constriction happening. You can feel that. And when you feel that motion happening, you're going to allow yourself to come into a ball on your side. So you'll inhale, as you exhale, pull all the way in, and we're going to stay in this ball. Stay in this ball. And we're going to now think of this containing. Feel the container of your body, contain everything. Tighten all of your muscles as you are in this little space. Tighten so much that you maybe shake a little. Tighten, tighten, tighten. Feel yourself contained in this teeny little ball. Good. Then as you inhale, you're going to let go and open up. Send energy out your fingertips, energy out your toes, out the crown of your head, out your tail. And then relax into your big X. You're going to take this on the other side. On your breath, with your exhale, you will curl into a ball on the other side. Curling into that ball. Remember, we treat all the limbs equally. They all go at the same time. And now on this ball, contain, tighten everything so much. Maybe you shake, maybe you don't, but you can feel your body so much in this little space, tightening into as much little contained space as possible. And then as you inhale, you're going to free everything, open up wide into your X. Notice how this feels. Go ahead and take some heel rocks here. Yeah, hands on the sternum. Rock, slosh. Heart like a river. Drop down behind the heart. Soften. Good. Coming into this still place. We're going to be taking that body half exercise that we did earlier. So you're going to go ahead and trace your midline of your body. And decide which half is going to be stable, which half is going to be mobile. So you've traced, maybe you've indicated to yourself, like, hey, this is my stable side. Feel it connect more with the ground, press it down into the ground a bit. You're going to send energy out that heel on the stable side, out the heel of the hand or the fingertips on the stable side. And then you're going to allow that other mobile side to float up and to move. Get it as fluid feeling as you can. Like there's no edge between the space around you and that mobile side of the body. Stabilize more. If you feel yourself moving or rocking over or tipping at all, stabilize more. So we've got two things going on. We're sending the energy out that stable side, out away from each other, lengthening into space. And then we're also soft and fluid on the other side of the body. Good. Good. You're going to go ahead and stabilize the other side now. Sending energy out that other heel, the heel of the hand or the fingertips, whatever feels best for you. Trace that midline. Indicate, like maybe press the stable side down to the ground. And then when you're ready, let the other side float. Notice what this feels like to hold two things at once. Two opposing feelings. to opposing sensations. The more stable you are, the more mobility you have, the more fluidity, the more ease. Good. Really nice. You go ahead and come down back into your big X. And then you go ahead and heel rock. Once again, bringing the backs of the hands together on the sternum, rock back and forth. Soften. Soften and drop more behind the heart. Good. Coming into still place. Once again, come back into your X with the arms, with the legs if you moved them. And then we'll be taking your big X where we lead ourselves up into a sit-up. So you're going to, once again, feel your breath first. You're in your big X. You're going to notice as you breathe out the core tugging, everything as you exhale, curling in together onto one side. Curling in together. Good. From there, you're going to take that top leg, send the toes out away from you. Keep reaching them out so much that you start to sit up, and then you're going to rotate in the toes and the heel, and you're going to come up. Send that other leg out to meet your first straight one. And you're just going to bend over the front. Yeah. We're going to stay here for a moment. We're going to breathe, and we're going to feel the toes pulling back towards the body. And we're going to imagine our belly button, our heart, and the crown of the head all going forward, way past the toes. Keep breathing. Press your thighs down towards the ground. Really nice. And just go back the way you came from. You can go ahead and take your arms to the ground. Curl into a ball. Inhale. Exhale. And then on your next inhale, you're going to open back up. We'll take this on the other side. Follow your own breath. As you inhale, feel yourself growing larger. And as you exhale, feel that tug happening in the core. Pull everything into your side, into a ball. I will not be demonstrating fully. Good. Curl into a ball. You're going to take your top toes, send them out away from you so much that you start to sit up and rotate the toes. Come all the way up. Bring that second leg to meet the first leg, and again, fold over. We're imagining the belly button, the heart, the crown of the head, all going forward, 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 forward. Pull the toes back towards you. Send the thighs down towards the ground. Feel yourself breathe. Good, and then you're going to go back the way you came from. Curl onto your bonus side. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale, open all the way out onto your back once again. Taking your heel rocks. Hands on the sternum. Slush. Soften. Really nice. We're going to be coming into a seated place for our meditation. You decide before you go how you are going to get there. Go with intention, with your breath supporting you, coming into a seated place. Good. So in a seated place, you can be like a lotus or a half lotus or regular cross-legged. Okay, we're going to be taking one hand to your heart. The other arm is going to be extended up. Taking your palm so it's facing towards the ceiling. So if it feels safe for you, you're going to go ahead and close your eyes and breathe. Exhale. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Good. Count your breath. Feel yourself breathing. Feel the ground below you. Notice if you're clenching your thighs or your hips at all. Let go. Let the ground hold you. Good. As you exhale, you're going to switch. Inhale. Open to the other side. Count your breath. You might extend it, so it's a 5 or a 6 count rhythm. Heart like a river. Soften into the ground underneath you. Good. Go ahead and bring both hands to the heart. So I'm going to be pulling my hands away from each other like I'm opening up. I'm actually kind of very gently kind of raking the fingers across the chest and pulling them away and opening my arms out. Feel like you are widening. So you're spreading, advancing, rising up a little bit. You might notice your weight shifts off of your hips more into your legs. That's okay. Good. And then you're going to keep that sense of lifting in the heart, but go ahead and allow your arms to come down and rest in your lap. Pull the weight so that your hips are also connected with the ground. Keep your heart open and lifted. Heart like a river. Notice your breath. Soften. You can release your control of the breath if you haven't already. And allow it to change. Soften. Allow the ground to hold you even as you keep your heart open. You can imagine the head is like a balloon and their spine is like the string of the balloon, just keeping it tied to the ground. There's an ease, there's motion. Heart like a river, nice and open. Soften. Let go of your legs, holding any tension. You can stay in this seated place, or if you prefer, you can lay down on the ground and like a traditional Shavasana or another resting place. Or you may stay in the seated place. You decide. Observe yourself here. Whatever you've decided to do, I invite you to let go of your breath and allow yourself to become still. Become still. Bring your attention back staying in this still place, but observe how you feel right now. Notice the sensations in your body. All are welcome. Acknowledge to yourself what this experience was like for you today. And a reminder to allow the heart to become like a river that is immense and has the capacity to receive, embrace, and transform. Our hearts to be wide like a river as they expand. The things that made us suffer before don't make us suffer anymore. In the way that feels best for you, you will come back up into a seated place. You might take some heel rocks before you come up. Taking some heel rocks back and forth. Drop behind the heart. Widen. Coming up into a seated place. As you come up into a seated place, we like to take a breath together. Inhale. Exhale. And we take everything, hands down to the ground and ground it. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining today. And I will stop recording.